The hip-hop world is reeling tonight after a confrontation so tense, so loaded with betrayal that it could rip apart friendships, relationships, and entire industry alliances in one brutal sweep. At the center of it all, Jim Jones, Ciara, and a secret Chrissy never wanted the world to know. It started as a private meeting, and to settle rumors before they spun out of control. Ciara had come in with one goal: to lay down an ultimatum Jim couldn't ignore. Sources close to the scene say she had the nuclear option ready: receipts, photos, and an insider testimony that could rewrite everything people thought. They knew about Jim and Chrissy's relationship. But in true Jim Jones fashion, he didn't cave. He didn't flinch. I flat out refused her demands. And that's when things got dangerous. Because Ciara, she doesn't make empty threats. And according to multiple insiders, the second Jim said no, she hit back by dropping the first piece of a secret Chrissy has been hiding for years. One so personal, so image-shattering that people in the room gasped. Within hours, whispers turned into full-blown chaos. Screenshots started circulating in private group chats. Old footage was being rewatched with a whole new lens. And by nightfall, hashtag Chrissy SECRET was trending. But here's the thing. This isn't just about a scandal. This is about power. And the next move could destroy someone's entire career. The room was tense before Ciara even walked in. This wasn't just some casual catch-up or friendly conversation. This was an intervention with teeth. The way insiders tell it, she walked in wearing a tailored black blazer, hair slicked back, eyes cold, and an expression that said she wasn't here to negotiate, she was here to dictate. Jim Jones was already seated at the head of the table, leaning back like he owned the place, phone in his hand, barely looking up as she entered. That nonchalant act didn't fool Ciara for a second. She'd known Jim long enough to know he was reading her energy before he even met her eyes. "Let's cut to it," Ciara said, dropping a manila envelope on the table so hard that the sound echoed. "You've got a choice to make. Today." Jim finally looked up, smirking. "If you really think you can walk in here and tell me what I gotta do? Don't think, Jim." "I know," she shot back. "And if you don't give me what I'm asking for, everything in that folder goes public. Every single page." Now, sources say the folder wasn't just any random gossip. It was full of private messages, screenshots, and voice memos from years back, evidence tying Jim to conversations, deals, and arrangements that could unravel not just his personal life, but his standing in the industry. And at the center of it all was one name that made this folder lethal. Chrissy Ciara leaned forward, her voice low. "This isn't about me. This is about her. And I think you know exactly what secret I'm talking about." That's when the temperature in the room shifted. Jim's smirk faded, set his phone down. "You're crossing a line you can't uncross, Ciara." "Oh, I've already crossed it," she replied, a glint in her eye. "The only question is whether I burn the whole bridge down." For a few moments, it was silent. Then Jim leaned back again, but this time without the smirk. "You think you got something nobody else knows? People been talking about me and Chrissy for years? Ain't nothing new you can say?" "That's where you're wrong," Ciara said, flipping open the folder and sliding a single photo toward him. "This isn't about you, Jim. This is about what Chrissy's been doing behind closed doors. The kind of thing that doesn't just stay a rumor. The kind of thing that comes with proof." The photo described by insiders as career-ending if it got out allegedly showed Chrissy in a private setting with a man who was definitely not Jim. And this wasn't some innocent fan picture or old friend reunion. From the body language alone, you could tell this was intimate, recent, and damning. Jim stared at it for a long time, his jaw tightening. "You're bluffing," he finally said. But Ciara didn't blink. "Am I?" she asked, sliding over to more photos, each more incriminating than the last. And just when Jim opened his mouth to respond, she reached for her phone. "I could send these to 3 blogs right now, and they'd have them posted in under an hour. Your move." Now here's where it gets wild. Insiders say that instead of folding, Jim pushed the photos back toward her and said, "Do what? You gotta do. I'm not playing your game." That refusal was like lighting a fuse. Ciara's eyes narrowed. "Then you leave me no choice." She reached into her purse and pulled out her own phone, already open to a group chat with two well-known Atlanta gossip bloggers. Her fingers hovered over the send button. And that's when Jim stood up so fast his chair scraped across the floor. "You think you're the only one with ammo?" Kay said, his voice low and dangerous. "I've got my own folder, Ciara, and trust me, you don't want me to open it." The tension was suffocating. Both of them staring each other down, both holding secrets that could ruin the other. But then Ciara smiled, a slow, calculated smile, and said, "Oh, I want you to open it. 'Cause once we start playing, I promise you I'll finish it." Happened next sent shockwaves through their entire circle. Ciara, without breaking eye contact, tapped the screen and hit send. The files were gone, sent out of her hands and into the feeds of two bloggers who thrive on destruction. Within minutes, notifications started pinging. Jim's phone lit up. Ciara's phone lit up. And all across Atlanta, the first whispers of Chrissy SECRET began to spread. But the most shocking part, Ciara didn't stick around to watch it all unfold. She grabbed her purse, turned on her heel, and walked out, leaving Jim standing there furious, blindsided and already trying to do damage control. And according to one insider, the worst part for Jim was knowing that this was just the first wave. Because the bloggers Ciara sent it to. They never drop everything at once. They release it piece by piece, dragging the scandal out for maximum impact. The first ping hit Jim's phone. Less than 3 minutes after Ciara walked out. A text from one of his closest friends read, "Bro, check Instagram right now." And just like that, it began. The two bloggers Ciara sent the files to didn't even bother with subtlety. They posted the first image with a caption that read, "Atlanta, y'all aren't ready for this?" Hashtag Chrissy SECRET, hashtag developing story. The comments section was a battlefield within seconds. The photo, a slightly grainy but still damning shot of Chrissy sitting at a dimly lit table with a man who was definitely not Jim, was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. But it wasn't just the fact that they were together. It was the way their bodies were angled, the way her hand rested on his arm, and the unmistakable glint of a wine glass in her other hand. It screamed intimacy, and it screamed trouble. Jim immediately started calling Chrissy, but insiders say she didn't pick up. She was already in her own firestorm. Screenshots of the post were being sent to her phone by friends, acquaintances, Kane, and perhaps most humiliating of all, people she hadn't spoken to in years, who suddenly wanted to check in. Meanwhile, Ciara wasn't hiding. She was sitting in a high-end midtown lounge, sipping on a martini, and watching the chaos unfold in real time. According to one witness, she even laughed when she saw the hashtags trending. Hashtag Chrissy SECRET, hashtag Jim Jones drama, and #CIARA said it first. By the next hour, the second photo dropped. This one was worse. It wasn't just a casual dinner. It was Chrissy, and the same man leaving what appeared to be a luxury hotel. The timestamp was recent, and the look on Chrissy's face was unmistakable. Caught off guard, but smiling in a way that suggested comfort, not discomfort. The internet went nuclear. Twitter. Threads dissected every pixel. TikTokers started doing side-by-side breakdowns, identifying the location, the outfit, even speculating on who the man was. Some claimed he was an old flame from Chrissy's past. Others swore he was a connected businessman with ties to Atlanta's underground scene. And then came the third blow, a short, muted video clip of Chrissy in what looked like a private room laughing and leaning in close to the mystery man. Though the clip had no audio, the body language said enough. Jim was livid. He posted a cryptic story. "Don't believe everything you see, but believe I'm not playing with nobody." it didn't help. If anything, fueled the speculation that there was more to this story than anyone knew. But here's where the night took a darker turn. Around 10 p.m., a new post appeared. Not from Ciara, not from the bloggers, but from an anonymous account with just one follower. It claimed to have the rest of the files and promised to drop them if the people wanted it. The account posted a poll asking if they should finish what Ciara started, and within an hour, by now, Chrissy could no longer ignore the situation. She finally picked up Jim's call, but insiders say it wasn't a calm conversation. Voices were raised, accusations flew. And at one point, Chrissy allegedly said, "You think you can judge me? You don't even want me to start on you." That line alone was enough to confirm one thing for those listening in. This wasn't a one-sided scandal. Whatever Chrissy had done, she believed Jim had his own skeletons that could be dragged into the light. Back online, the bloggers were milking the story for every click. They started dropping cryptic captions, hinting at the real reason Ciara had come after Jim in the first place. One post read, "When loyalty dies, receipts live forever." Another teased, "What if we told you this isn't even the biggest secret in this folder?" Fans were split. Some defended Chrissy, saying the photos didn't prove anything more than friendship and timing. Others were convinced the evidence was clear, that she had crossed a line. Meanwhile, Jim's supporters flooded his comments with "Stay strong" messages, but even they were asking for answers. Ciara, on the other hand, posted a single story, a boomerang of her clinking glasses with a friend, overlaid with the words, "Phase 1 complete." By midnight, the anonymous account made its next move. It posted a blurred-out screenshot of what appeared to be a hotel booking confirmation, in Chrissy's name, matching the exact date of the second leaked photo. The caption read, "Still, think it's just dinner?" At that point, Jim's phone was blowing up with calls, not just from Chrissy, but from mutual friends, business partners, and even a few major industry names who didn't want to get caught in the blast radius. His reputation wasn't just being hit by gossip now, it was being dragged into a scandal that could tank deals, appearances, and sponsorships. But while Jim was scrambling, Chrissy was making a decision of her own. According to one source close to her, she told a friend, "If they want to play dirty, I'll get muddy." And that was the chilling part. Because Chrissy has been in this game long enough to know where the bodies are buried, she decided to go scorched earth. No one in their circle would come out clean. By sunrise, the story had grown legs of its own. What started as a targeted hit from Ciara had turned into a runaway train barreling toward everyone involved. And Chrissy had finally decided she wasn't going to be the one left standing in front of it. Around 7:15 a.m., her Instagram lit up with a black screen and the words, "Since y'all want receipts, let's go." The first thing she posted wasn't even about defending herself. It was a direct shot at Ciara. A grainy but unmistakable photo of Ciara entering a penthouse suite, not alone, but with a man identified by followers as someone's very married husband from the music industry. Chrissy didn't even need to caption it beyond "Play stupid games." Within minutes, the comments were a feeding frenzy. People who had been Team Ciara the night before were now asking questions. The married man in the photo had a recognizable profile, and his wife was well known in Atlanta's social scene. It was the kind of scandal that could splinter alliances faster than the original leak about Chrissy. But Chrissy didn't stop there. The next slide was a short voice memo. You couldn't hear Ciara's voice clearly, but the male voice, deep, unmistakable, was saying something about keeping this between us and my wife can't know. That was enough to light the internet on fire. Now, it wasn't just hashtag Chrissy SECRET trending. There were new hashtags. Hashtag Ciara exposed. Hashtag double life. And even hashtag three-way war. Jim, meanwhile, was stuck in the middle and losing ground. Whatever Chrissy and Ciara had on each other was bad enough, but both women had hinted, in their own ways, that Jim wasn't innocent either. And right before noon, Chrissy made sure to prove it. She posted a screenshot of a bank statement, not in Jim's name, but linked to an LLC he controlled. The transactions, payments labeled consulting fees going to a woman who was not Chrissy. The dates lined up with times when Jim claimed to be on tour. This was a calculated strike. It didn't just humiliate Jim, it undercut his denials from the day before. Suddenly, the conversation online shifted from, "Did Chrissy cheat?" to "Who's been lying longer?" Ciara, never one to be outdone, clapped back on her own story by posting a clip of Jim and Chrissy at a private dinner. Except the audio was turned up. In it, Jim could be heard saying, "We can't let her find out. She does, everything's over." The her wasn't named. But the implication was devastating. Now the blogs were running with triple headlines: Chrissy exposed, Ciara caught, Jim busted. Entertainment shows scrambled to cover it, with pundits calling it the most toxic love triangle in recent hip-hop history. And then came the wild card. The anonymous account from the night before reappeared, claiming to have joint files. Dirt on all three of them. It posted a blurred-out collage showing glimpses of all the scandals. Chrissy with her mystery man. Ciara with the married music exec Jim's alleged payment receipts. The caption read, "One drop ends careers. Should we?" The poll was almost comically one-sided. 93% of voters wanted the drop. Chrissy's camp was in panic mode. Sources say she spent the afternoon making frantic calls trying to find out who was behind the anonymous account. Ciara was doing the same, but separately. Neither trusted the other enough to collaborate. Jim, according to insiders, was furious with both of them. He allegedly told a close friend, "They're so busy tearing each other down, they're gonna burn me with them." But by that evening, it was too late for warnings. At 6:47 p.m., the anonymous account kept its promise. A 5-slide carousel hit Instagram and Twitter at the same time. Slide 1. A high-resolution version of Chrissy's hotel photo timestamp, location tag, and crystal-clear detail. Slide 2. Ciara in the penthouse suite hallway, followed by an unblurred version of the married man. Slide 3. Jim's bank transfers, this time with unredacted account numbers that tied directly to his signature. Slide 4. A group chat screenshot between all three. Chrissy, Ciara, and Jim arguing about keeping things quiet and not letting the blogs get hold of this. Slide 5. A single sentence in white text on a black background. They all knew. They all lied. The internet exploded. By nightfall, all three of them had gone dark on social media, but the damage was irreversible. Music outlets, gossip channels, and even mainstream news sites picked it up. The fallout was everywhere. Bookings canceled, sponsorship deals paused, and private meetings called by management teams desperate to contain the bleeding. But the truth was out there now, and the whispers inside the industry were even worse than the posts. The kind of whispers that turn into blacklists, the kind of whispers that make people disappear from the public eye for a while. And yet, insiders claim this isn't the end. Because the same anonymous account posted one final story before going silent. This was just part 1, which means the war between Ciara, Chrissy, and Jim. It's only getting started. And now you see why this isn't just another celebrity spat. This is a full-blown no prisoners taken war that's dragging everyone down with it. The receipts have been dropped, the secrets have been exposed, and the lines have been drawn. But if the anonymous account is telling the truth, and this was only part 1, then we haven't even seen the most dangerous revelations yet. The question is, who's going to make the next move? Will Chrissy unleash even darker files to completely end Ciara's credibility? Will Ciara drop something so explosive it forces Jim out of hiding? Or will Jim finally snap, tell his side, and bring down both of them in one brutal strike? What we do know is that these aren't just random leaks. This is a calculated takedown in motion. Every post, every screenshot, every blurred-out video has been dropped with precision. And the real finale hasn't. even hit yet. So if you think tonight's chaos was shocking, just wait until you hear what's allegedly sitting in that Part 2 folder. This isn't just gossip. This is the kind of career-ending truth that gets whispered about in back rooms and never makes it to daylight, unless someone decides to drop it all. Don't miss it. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Because when the next leak hits, you're going to want to be here the second it drops.